What is up, agents? It's your friendly neighborhood Vex, bringing you a top 3 build you need in 2026. Some of you guys may be wondering what's the best setup to have for each exotic, and guess what? Vex has got you covered. So we're going to go through this step by step, guys. This is number 3 and we're going to count down together. Coming in at number 3 is my perfect aim eagle bearer build. Now this build will make your ridicule so stable, like you do have 2 stabilizers on your push bike, as this is the one to use for when you're trying to get your headshots and getting the tenacity bonus rolling on your eagle bearer. So with that said, as you can see in the background as an example, this is just showing what the build can perform and enhance your eagle bearer, so you don't have to worry about your aim to the sky as you are neutralizing all enemies in sight. Now what makes this build very good is that it has incredible sustain from the backpack itself. You're getting bonus armor, as well as you can go head to head with a lot of enemies, as you can see in the background, as well as you can do the amount of damage that you can see and take down a lot of enemies. And with this build, you can use this in many game modes for solo or group activity. As for example, you can see I'm using this in the summit at the moment. And also you can take out those big guys with headshots, as you can see, which is amazing. So aiming for the head is a prime strategy whenever you're using this build. So just go ahead and make sure when you are using it that you're always aiming at the head of all of the enemies, and you can just wipe them out, as you can see in the background. It may take a little while to get used to that style of play, because everyone's style of play is different, but this is just a little hint to give you while you are using this build. With that said, this build does utilize a lot of the critical hit chance and damage as well. This is why you can go for headshots as well as body shots in very rare situations and still pull off the damage, even though headshots are definitely a must, as you can see in the background. And overall, agents, this is an amazing build for existing veteran players or new players alike. If you do put this build together, you can perform exactly the way you're seeing on screen, and that is definitely a Vex promise. With that said, agents, we're just going to have a quick glimpse of the build. We're not going to go into too much details. We've got a lot to cover in this video. So the 3 pieces I do have on this build is a 3-piece Fenris with the armor core rolled on there, and I have 2 unit alloys pieces, and the chest piece is the perfect obliterate, with the backpack exotic being the memento. Now with that said, if you do want to see more of this build video, click on the link here just at the bottom on the cards. I'll link to the description to the video. And remember, agents, headshots are the key functionality of that build, so that's the strategy there. And talking about headshots, that brings us to number 2. Now number 2 is just utilizing the exotic Regulus pistol, and as you can see, again, headshots is the main emphasis of this build. So as you can see, the only difference is when you do hit one person, you are hitting them and giving them a 1-tap and they're gone. They're just obliterated. Even the big guys as well, by opening them up with one specific headshot first to break their armor, and then the last one to execute them. And as you can see, any mission, any game mode, you can just go through and do that with ease. And what makes it brilliant is that it spreads the actual overall headshot damage. You can see people being absolutely deleted with one shot, as it is spreading the overall damage. As you can see in the background, boom, that was 2 people down with 1 shot, which gives that terminology 2 birds and 1 stone and actual reality. Look at that, big guy, see you later. With that said, what more can I say, agents? Have a look at this build. We're gonna just go ahead and summarize this very quickly. As I said before, there's a lot to cover in this video, so we're just gonna go straight to the build, and we're just gonna have a look and summarize exactly what is going on. So with that said, let's have a look. So agents, headshots is the main theme of this build. I do have an 1886 with determined on there. I have the perfect chain killer chest piece for extra headshot damage, and I have the holster called the gunslinger holster. And last but not least, if you guys do want to see any more details of this build, just go ahead, click on the link below or just cards on the top, and you get straight to that build. And this build is incredible as it spreads constant damage. And I'm talking about spread, it brings me to the number 1 spot. But before we hit that, let's have a look at my membership era, because some of you guys may not not be aware, but if you become a member, you can then get ahead of the trend with some of my secret builds. And becoming a member is as little as a coffee for a whole month. Just one coffee, guys, all right? So that is very, very small, and that is spread through the whole month. Now, with the spread itself on this number 1 build, oh my gosh, this is definitely what you need, guys. This build is an all build type of build, I meant to say. But yeah, this build can do insane amount of damage in any situation. You're getting double spread from your Pestilence Plague, as well as you're spreading the overall damage that is similarly to number 2's build. And oh boy, this is something that you need. Definitely, this is my number 1 LMG build I go in if I do want to just do a quick run in any game mode, as well as just getting any content done, as well as any actual challenges as well. This just makes everything a breeze. It almost feels like you're cheating, but nope, Vex does not cheat, guys. All right, so this is definitely one to keep in your actual inventory as a quick slot, so you can go straight to the build whenever you need it, in and out of any extreme content, as well as it works amazing in legendary. So any content you decide to play within the Division 2, you wouldn't have to worry. Vex has you covered with this build, and you can just go through, as well as you have insane sustain, and you can just go through everything you like with the skills as well that help you out slightly to give you that slight edge whenever you are overwhelmed. And the reason being this build is number 1 in my eyes, guys, is because you can go into any content with this build. You don't have to worry about any requirements to shoot someone in a specific way. It's just aim down sights and just absolutely annihilate, as well as because of the Pestilence Plague as well that's in play. And the reason why it's at my personal number 1 spot is because, guys, this build is definitely something that is easy to craft and put together, as well as it is utilizing every single piece in every single aspect. As you can see, doesn't matter even if you do get tagged or hit on this build, you don't have to worry, as you can sustain and survive. As you have some armor cores on there mixed with some weapon damage as well, you can then just zero in, as you can see, on any named enemy or any non-named enemy and just absolutely obliterate. Not forgetting the fact, guys, that you're doing some decent critical hit chance and damage on a Pestilence as well. It is just a recipe for destruction. And with that said, have a quick summary of the build and see exactly how it's doing and why it is my number 1 on the top 3, guys. So let's get straight into this build. So the summary, guys, for the actual Pestilence, I have the Overdog's gloves, which does a lot of damage, as well as I have the 3-piece Legmo with the Obliterate on the chest, and I have Unstoppable Force on the backpack. With my favorite Turmoil knee pads, you're spreading damage, as well as separately you're getting your Plague Pestilence spread as well. Now, if you guys want to see more on this build and a deep dive, have a click on the link just below. And with that said, that is my top 3, guys. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead, smash the bell notification and subscribe. Now, the summary, guys, the top 3 are in this list as follows. So the top is the Pestilence build I've just shown you. Then next is my Regulus headshot build. And then last but not least, we have my Eagle Bearer headshot and overall critical hit chance damage build. So these builds are subject to how you like to play and what your game style and gameplay type is. This is mine, this is what I prefer, and this is what I would recommend. Now, what would you guys use? Let me know in the comments below. Are there different pieces you use in each build? Do you like these exotics specifically, or are you using different exotics? Please let me know. I'm happy and open to all ideas, as this is part of a community and your voice does count, so it does help me to understand a little bit more about what you expect and what you guys would like to see. And agents, if you really do enjoy my build videos, I have a lot of guides on the Mutiny Manhunt, as well as a lot of other builds just here. Have a click and have a look, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.